10 of the high school football season. The Weslaco East Wildcats come away with a victory, 49-21 on homecoming, and it also looks like they could be qualifying for the playoffs. Hello, everybody. Carlos Rebello along with Mike Gonzalez for the Miriam Guerra Allstate Insurance postgame show. And what a game we had here tonight. Weslaco East, once again, needed to take care of business, and they did tonight against Harlingen South, Mike.
Yeah, that's exactly, Carlos. They knew the situation. They knew what was at stake. They knew that Harlingen South came in with a 7-game losing streak, and they put up a really good fight. I was very impressed with them. But in the end, the Wildcats took care of business, and it looks like they're back in the playoffs.
Yeah, they win this football game, and right now Hannah is leading Harlingen in the fourth quarter, 33-0. And if we said during the pregame show, if Weslaco East wins tonight and Harlingen loses, they're in the playoffs for the 11th straight year. Let's go to the highlights and find out how we got to this point, 49-21. All right, started off in the first quarter with Richard Lefevre with a beautiful run right here. He had some outstanding runs tonight in this football game. Here's another one inside the 5-yard line. He finishes off the drive, does Lefevre, and it's 7-0 Weslaco East in the first quarter. Still in the first quarter at the 5:26 mark, David Torres passing here, finds Delgado, Derek Delgado, touchdown. We're all tied at 7. On 3rd and 11, they pass the ball right here to Alvaro Medrano, and he races 42 yards for the score. Touchdown, Weslaco East, and they weren't done. Lefevre, watch him running with the ball here. He finishes the drive for the second touchdown of the game to make it 14-7. East with the lead right there, passing Torres to Bennett. That's Brandy Bennett, a touchdown. But Lefevre, big run for him inside the 5. Scores right here to make it 21-14. And then watch this, a little trickery, double reverse pass down the field to Jaime Banuelos. He makes the catch, pushed out of bounds. And then inside the 5-yard line, Lefevre looks in one direction, throws in the other to Freddy Cardenas to make it 28-14 Weslaco East at that point. In the third quarter, the Hawks make it interesting. They score to make it 28-21. Weslaco East still with the lead. Then in the third quarter, still Josh Gonzalez scored to make it 34-21. And that was pretty much all they needed. Cardoza with another touchdown right there, one of those sophomores on the team. 49-21, Weslaco East wins it on homecoming, and it's senior night. Yeah, you could see everybody behind us. They're lining up for their senior walk. As they enter the field, you'll see the seniors coming on. So what a tremendous night. Yeah. You have homecoming, you have senior night, so they get to walk across the field, and you're seeing all the kids right behind us, very excited. A nice November evening here for them. They're going to the playoffs for the 11th year, and there's still a chance that if they end up playing Edinburgh Vela in the next round of the playoffs, that they could end up playing them here at home. Coach, a homecoming game, and you had, the first question I have is, how do you let 3 of your players run for homecoming king, Coach?
I hate homecoming.
It's on, Coach.
Is this thing
it's on. It's on. We're just on the air, though. We're not going to come out over the screen today.
Why?
Because these guys are walking on the backfield, the seniors.
I don't want to tell you what I think about that neither.
Hey, with Hannah leading 33-0 in the fourth quarter, it's looking good for Weslaco East to make their 11th straight appearance in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're in. We're in.
You're in, Coach?
Yeah.
Hey, I noticed that you guys did a little trickery, and on top of that, you did some screens on the backside, and you made some throws on the backside. Is that something you all saw on film that maybe you guys can take advantage of?
We don't run reverses or screens, so I don't know what you're talking about. You know, we sort of waited till the end of the year, and now we got
a little bit of a distraction.
And that's
we can hear you.
That's why I hate that. Anyway, guys, you know, these young kids have gotten better. That second half of Los Fresnos, they got better at Harlingen. They got better against Brownsville Veteran, and they got better against a good South team. This team's good. They got a great coach, and he's good. He's going to be tough next year with all those underclassmen. So, you know, I'm pretty happy our young guys have stepped up to the plate. You know, we're waiting to see the PSA Memorial score. That's going to be big in Edinburgh North because Edinburgh North's a big school over there. PSA Memorial's a small school. So if PSA Memorial wins, that bounces Vela up to the big schools. And that puts PSA Bears and PSA Memorial in. If Edinburgh North wins, that'll dump Vela down and PSA Bears.
Right now we got Edinburgh North beating PSG Memorial 17-14. Yeah, still in the fourth quarter. Hey, Daniel, you want to give me an update
We
on
keep
that?
track of that on the sideline sometimes.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
You're a multitasker, aren't you, Coach? But you're able to handle it pretty good.
Yeah, I guess so.
Coach, third down and 11, third down and 9. You guys were able to convert here tonight. The efficiency on third down tonight was just incredible.
Yeah, I hate to be third and long, mostly with the team that we got. But, you know, we got some light running backs. And you know, we have to do a little bit different than pound Roy or pound JC. We got Derek Ibata, who's playing tough. We got Josh, who's a sophomore. We got Randy's a sophomore. Carrasco's a sophomore. Felix a sophomore. And Russell, we just moved up a sophomore. So that's all those guys carrying the ball at the end of the game. And then we got Big Rich carrying the ball. I mean, he looks like a big old tailback out there sometimes, except when he breaks it.
He had some cutbacks tonight.
I don't know if I call him cutback, but he's like a big old semi.
He was going in another direction.
Yeah, you know, what a year Rich has had. I mean, to pick up and lose some weapons that he has and throw to a guy like Bones. I mean, Bones is a guy, he'll tell you, never got a touchdown until Browns Revet, he got 2. His whole career in junior high. And Bones has worked hard for everything he's got. Al made some good catches today. Jaime made some good catches today. So, you know, Rich has put this offense on his back, and he's got a big back, and he can carry him.
Yes, sir, he sure can.
Next week, Coach, you guys have an opportunity to go to Browns-Lahana. Even though you guys are in the playoffs, I'm sure that's still a game that you guys would like to get so that you guys can get that top seed in Division II, correct?
Well, a couple weeks ago, probably about 3 weeks ago, I told you I'd take any seed. But now we have a chance to finish second in the district.
Right.
With the stuff that's happened to us this year, and to be the small seed number 1, especially with the amount of students we have at our school. But I don't want to talk about that because I'm still looking for those students around our campus.
Yeah. Coach, tell me a little bit about this offensive line because they've been pretty consistent this year, that offensive line of yours.
You know, I can tell you that we probably have the number 1 seed by now if we was a little bit smarter coaches. We got a kid back a few weeks ago. We got him back at the beginning of the year. Take that back. And he was a backup defensive tackle. Where you put him at right tackle, and Sanchez has made our whole line better and getting Mario back healthy. You know, you're talking about 2 sophomores. Our center and left tackle are sophomores. We have a senior left guard, Graham. Our right guard is Gil. He's a junior. So, and then all those guys at the end, some of them were starting at the beginning of the year, and they're all underclassmen. So, you know, I think we got like 14 offensive linemen that's played that's going to be back next year, so we're sort of excited. We're going to have a tougher offseason, I guess. I've never had injuries like this, but then I watched the Houston, and they lose a stud quarterback cutting on air. I mean, it just seems like this year, when I read about the NFL and the college, the injuries, and I talked to the referee, Sasser, and he goes, it's been one of those years.
Yeah, you know what, Coach? I mean, despite the injuries, you guys are still coming through, and it's like I told Carlos in the pregame, you guys were averaging 404 yards before the injuries happened, and yet you guys are still averaging 394 coming into this game in the 3 games without J.C. Vargas and Roy Pedraza. I mean, that's still a pretty remarkable job, you'd say.
Well, you know what? I think the kids rallied. They seen how much Roy Pedraza and J.C. and Freddie was hurting their seniors. You know, they might have played their last game if they can't come back from those injuries. And those kids see that. And Roy and J.C. and Freddie were the captains. Our kids followed them, and it hurt them. It hurt the coaching staff, too, because we've known them forever. I've known them since I come over here, since they was little ball boys and stuff. And, you know, it breaks my heart they can't finish it. And I got to tell you, J.C. and Roy sent me a text that said, Coach, things happen in football. Keep your head up because we can see you're down a little bit. Because I went and visited him in the hospital, and it's the hardest thing to have to do is see a kid that has played for you for so long that can't finish his senior year. And, man, I got to tell you, man, at one time this year, it was hard for me to go coach. But with those guys texting me and telling me, Coach, you still can take this team to the playoffs, they're still leading this team. That tells you what kind of kids we have at Westco East.
Now, what does it mean for you, Coach, to be able to overcome this and still make the playoffs and keep that streak alive? Make it 11 in a row.
Man, I didn't think it was going to happen a couple
Well,
weeks
Coach, you know, we talked a lot during the pregame show. I know you don't get a chance to watch it because you're warming up and getting ready for the game and stuff. But we had an opportunity to talk about how, the sophomore kids have stepped it up, but we also gave a lot of credit to the coaching staff.
Man, you guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. These coaches have been together for so long. I don't even go down to they won't let me go down to the defensive side of the field anyway. Coach Guzman and Coach Villarreal and Coach Perriman and Coach Salinas and Coach Pedraza and Coach Gonzalez, and I know I'm forgetting one. Oh, and Rolly Segura. Those guys have put that defense together, and they don't want me down there. They tell me, stay down on your side. Those guys, Coach Guzman has done a great job. You know, and this is a guy that I'm not going to have much longer. I know it. He's head coaching material. I can see it down there. He leads that group, and what a great guy. He has a big heart for the kids. And then you take Noel Villarreal, who's been a defense coordinator, Danny Salinas been a defense coordinator. Those guys click. And, you know, and the offensive staff, I got Jesse Trevino, who used to be an offensive coordinator. He still is a head coach. And him and
Jeff Lefevre, coach.
I got Big Lefevre at quarterback. I got Michael Brown. I got Raymond Martinez at back, and I got Serge Martinez as a O-line coach. Those guys do all the work. I hate to say this, for the first hour of practice, I don't do nothing.
You get to hang out with us, right?
But I hate it. I'm not going to comment on it.
Don't lie.
Guys, those guys do their individual. They take pride in the kids they coach. And I got a lot of coaches that's going to move off, probably be head coaches and coordinators someday. And I don't know what I'm going to do because I got a good group of guys, and I'll tell you that they made us very successful.
Well, you did a really good job calling the game tonight. Your play calling, I thought, was outstanding, especially on those third down plays. You did a very good job, so compliment to the head coach.
Well, thank you. I don't get that very much. I hear the crowd. You know, I used to hear the crowd yell, "Coach, pass the ball, pass." But this year I'm hearing them yell, "Coach, run the ball." I'm like, I'm a little bit confused. No, it's been fun this year, and again, I know they can't hear me, but the parents of these kids and the fans that's out here, I mean, they do a great job. You know, I don't hear no complaints. No complaints. That's what makes East East. The parents know that we run the show, and we're going to take care of their kids, and they know sometimes we get on their kids, and they respect that because all they want to do is they want their kids to be successful in life, and, you know, we're hard on them. We want them to do things right, so we love our kids, so I can tell you that.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Join the festivities back there, senior night, homecoming, and the Wildcats make the playoffs.
Well, again, I want to thank K-West, but I see something that bugs me. We really got to work on black clipboards.
Hey, well, you got to give us some. That's your job, man.
Hey, I want to thank K-West and everybody out there. Have a good night.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. And the last score we got, we were talking about Edinburgh North and PSG Memorial, 17-17 with about 5 minutes and 43 seconds. We'll get some more updates here on some of the other scores. But, Mike, I thought the play calling by Coach Lefevre, running when he needed to run. And, of course, what helps is when they convert those third downs and passing just at the right time. And these guys did an excellent job also of, come on in, guys, Alvaro Medrano and some of these guys did a really good job with their route running tonight.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it was something they saw on film that they could take advantage of on Harlingen South, and it was at the right place at the right time, and the Wildcats just called it at a perfect time, and it worked out great for them. They were able to make big plays.
All right, we have a couple of guys. Hey, why don't you introduce yourselves to the crowd?
I'm Freddy Cardenas. I'm Mario Trevino.
Congratulations. Looks like you guys are in the playoffs because it looks like Hannah is going to beat Harlingen. So you guys are going to be in the playoffs for the 11th straight year. How does it feel?
The season's not over yet. I mean, we still got to win next week, and we're going to make a run to the playoffs. It feels good to know that all that hard work in the summer paid off.
I mean, you guys did this with a bunch of injuries to your star players. And, I mean, just talk about that, how you guys have been able to keep it together, listen to the coaches, and just still come out here and play football, Wildcat football, make this happen. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, sir. We just had to circle the wagons and come together as a team. This just made us stronger, I feel. Us coming together and playing as one. We missed those guys, of course, but we couldn't stop the season.
How does it feel to you can score a touchdown tonight?
Yeah.
You're playing both sides of the ball now? You're going to be like JC?
No, it's just a special play.
Every once in a while, right? And I think it's that same play, right? They look one way, they throw it in the other direction.
Can't say.
Don't give away your secrets.
You guys, we don't know who you guys are going to play yet in the playoffs. regardless of who it is, you got to feel pretty good, momentum-wise, going into the playoffs with playing the way you guys are playing, right?
Yes, sir. We feel pretty good with this win, but we just have to get ready for next week. We could enjoy it for tonight, but tomorrow we have our mind on Hannah.
Are you guys seniors?
No, I'm a junior.
Junior?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore. All right. I was wondering if y'all should have been there on the field or not. Okay. So tell me a little bit about what you're thinking about. I know y'all are thinking about Hannah. Y'all want to finish the season strong and try to get that second seed. Is that what you guys thinking about? Not really thinking about the playoffs, are you, at this point?
We're thinking about coming out stronger than we did this week. We slacked off on defense a little bit, but we're going to pick it up. That's what we're thinking about.
But you know what? You guys, I think, made adjustments in that second half, didn't you? You only held Harlingen South to 1 touchdown after they were able to move the ball on you guys. What do you want to talk a little bit about that?
We
Just say yes.
Why, they just
I
tried to play
agree with you,
Wildcat
Mike.
football, huh?
yeah, Wildcat football.
Talk to me a little bit about that offensive line and how well they've done all season long.
Yes, sir. We've came together as a unit, and that's what we try to do since the beginning of the season. We knew it would take time, but we're here, and we're just happy about it.
I'm sure. Sorry, Carlos. I'm sure you've had an opportunity to get to know Randy Cardoza very, very well. You guys are in the same class, right? I mean, I've been very impressed with his play, being that he's only a sophomore, being thrown in the line of fire, and making those blocks. You know, tell me what that's like as a teammate seeing that.
Yes, sir. I'm very happy for how he's been playing. He stepped it up. He worked pretty hard, and it's just excited for the years to come.
When y'all had JC and Roy go down, how were y'all pretty devastated? I mean, how did y'all keep that frame of mind that hey, we could still continue to do well even though we didn't have 2 of our top studs?
They were good players. They were great players, but we all worked hard in the summer. I mean, just because they get hurt doesn't mean the season's over. So we kept working hard, and we knew we could make playoffs, and hopefully we'll make it.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and let you go. Thank you very much for joining us here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Post-game show. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Enjoy the evening. As once again, Weslaco wins it by a final score of 49-21 on homecoming and on senior night. That's right. They are going to the playoffs for the 11th straight year. And any more updates do we have over here? Let's go ahead and see what we got going on, because the last score we got 17-17 Edinburgh North and PSJ Memorial, and it's now 32-0 Hannah over Harlingen. So Weslaco once again going to the playoffs. Mike's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a job well done. I think we've covered every base of it, just from the coaching staff, led by Coach Mike Burgett, the whole staff, and then just reaching out to the players, telling them what's at stake. They're pretty blunt guys, they're honest. They know how to motivate them. They were able to keep it together. They just did it one play at a time, one score at a time, one half at a time, and just been able to keep it together despite those losses, Carlos. It's very impressive.
And this game was still very interesting in the third quarter, 28-21. They were right there, was Harlingen South. They didn't punt much. They took a lot of chances on 4th down, but Weslaco was able to, I don't know if they were distracted at all by homecoming. People thought maybe they would have had a larger margin of victory or lead in the third quarter, but they were able to, like you said, regroup and really hold them to just 1 touchdown, or to hold them to 1 touchdown in that second half, and really control the game. But that first half, it was a battle back and forth.
It was, Carlos, just back and forth. And you got to give Harlingen South a lot of credit for coming out with a good game plan and being able to move the football. They did it both running and passing. But, yeah, the Wildcats, I think, made their adjustments and held them to only 1 touchdown. And, I mean, being that this is homecoming, Coach Burgett has said it over and over. He's gone on record plenty of times that he's not a big fan of homecoming. But he's got to be proud that the players still been able to come through with this big victory for the school.
Yeah, he had 3 of his players that were running for homecoming king, so all of their halftime was not spent talking about adjustments. It was like in the middle of all the festivities that were taking place at halftime. Next week against Hannah, is it going to be difficult to stay focused on winning that game? I know it's the final game of the season. They beat them last year.
Yeah.
Can they do it again? Because Hannah is... We've been saying, are they for real? Are they not for real?
Right.
They lost last week pretty badly to San Benito, but beating Harlingen here tonight, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, absolutely, Carlos. To answer your question, no, I think this team will stay focused. One, because this isn't the Brownsville-Hannah teams that in the past that have had down years. This is a playoff team now. They're in the playoffs. That's a team that's only lost 1 district game, and that was against the San Benito Greyhounds. So we know that the Golden Eagles are for real, and we said it all year long that's a team to watch out for, and I think they've not only met but went above expectations in everybody's mind. So Weslaco East now has to go with the mind of, hey, we got one more game to play. They have something to play for, which is that Division II #1 seed. So I'm sure they have that in their minds as well. And on the road, because you never know if they're going to play on the road again on that first by-district game. And that's also something they got to prepare for.
Yeah, there's still a lot to be determined in this district, in the playoffs, who they're going to play, and a lot of things to sort out.
Right.
So we'll find out more next week when they play on the road at Hannah. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up once again. A final score here on homecoming and senior night. It is the Weslaco East Wildcats winning it by a final score of 49-21. For Mike Gonzalez, I'm Carlos Rebel. Thanks for joining us on the Miriam Guerra Allstate Insurance postgame show. Good night, everybody.